नमः ॐ विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इति नामिने. Everybody together. Namah. Bhakti Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Namaste Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Everybody together. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Jai Gaura Hari Bol. प्रेम पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुः येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे। Hare Krishna. So you all are comfortable in English or Hindi? Both. Sure? You see, in this world, one of the most rarest gifts is to have good friendship. Because if you get a good friend, a uplifting friend, a friend whose company makes you a better person, then you are fortunate. And at the same time, in this world, you also get friendships which are dangerous and degrading also. Once upon a time, a king, uh, somehow or other, he made a friendship with one monkey. So the monkey used to come from the garden through his window and he would feed bananas. He became more friendly with the monkey. So one day he told the monkey, now it's afternoon time, but I want to take a small nap. I'm taking rest. So you be around and I don't want anyone to disturb me. If anyone comes to disturb, you should immediately drive them out. Because I didn't have a good night's sleep for many days, he said. Monkey agreed, no problem, sir, don't worry. So the monkey found nobody came in the room, but there was one mosquito which was moving, making sound. So the monkey was very observant. So immediately he took the king's sword. He was chasing after the mosquito to drive him out. And mosquito went here, there, at last it sat in the nose of the king. And the monkey thought, this is the best time I can finish this fellow. And then he lifted the sword and you know what must have happened next. So what was the mistake of the king? Anybody can say? Yeah. He associated with the wrong person. He made friendship with a dangerous fellow who is foolish fellow. It's a foolish monkey. So he made friendship with somebody like a monkey, foolish monkey, who is taking a sword and committing a big blunder. I don't know what happened to the king, whether he survived or died, we don't know. But you know one thing, one should not get into bad friendships, dangerous friendships. You will see when you are a small child, you are all dependent on your parents naturally for every small thing. Parents say, hey, sit here, you sit there. Eat this, eat that. Don't go out, you don't go out. Completely under their control because for food, for dress, for living, for everything you depend on them. Correct, no? And you are very small also. You don't know the outside world. You are afraid. But when you go out to study, in a school or a college, after they cross the age of 12 or 13, then you get to see a bigger world outside. Now you can walk with your own legs. You can go to college on your own. Parents don't have to take you to bathroom or take you to shop or anywhere. You walk on your own. So beyond the age of 13, generally the teenagers, they are not very comfortable with hearing any good instructions from the parents. They tell the parents, Abhi, you have told many things now, enough now. बहुत हो गया अभी, हैं? अभी आप आराम कीजिए. Now, then they turn to their friends for good direction. Especially peers. We say peer association. You know peer association? Peers means the equal friends. So they roam with many a time. You spend most of your time with your friends. You will see that. So from the age of 13 to 19 is the age where you form new habits in your life, and you also get a certain direction in your life, and you make certain ambitions and destinations in your life also, and that is the age actually habit forming age. Now, in that habit formation, what habits you form? The way you dress, the way you keep your hairstyle, the way you speak, the way you deal with the world around you, and the habits you pick up, maybe good habits or bad habits. You may, if you associate with certain friends, you will drink milk or bonvita or Horlicks you may drink, or with other friends you may drink beer or liquor or something like that. Yeah, with some good friends, you learn. They take you to temple. You go to temple. You go for yatra, or you go for attending some good Gita class or some program. And there are other friends with whom you associate with, where you learn other things. For example, when I was going to one hostel to distribute books, room to room I was going. So one room I went, I was amazed. I saw a boy, he was having a copy of Bhagavad Gita. And he was also having a Krishna picture and he was doing agarbatti in the morning time. I was very happy. So I came to know that his parents are already devotees. His parents are going to ISKCON regularly and chanting also. Boy is a good boy. So he was worshipping the Lord. Next room I went, I saw a boy smoking there. So I was amazed. Both rooms, I got to get the smell of the smoke, both rooms. One place I got the agarbatti smoke, another room I got the cigarette smoke. Isn't it? Why? They asked the boy, hey, you look very young. You're just 17 years old. How did you learn smoking? He said, Fir kya, my friends are all smoking, so I also smoke. Yeah. In my circle, both boys, girls, everybody smokes. So he's smoking 2 packets a day, every day. So where did he pick it up from? From the friends. Friends teach us many things. You can learn good things or you can learn bad things. It's all by association. What type of association you get. Mm. And we had done one drama, probably some of you are in Spurti camp, you must have seen the Karna. Karna is a very beautiful example. You see, Karna also had many virtuous qualities. For example, Karna was known for Danavir, correct? No? I heard one story about Karna, how even Duryodhana envied Karna sometimes. One Brahman came to uh, Duryodhana and said, you may be giving clothes, you may be giving food, but you can never match with Karna, he said. So then Duryodhana asked, how do you say Karna is better than me? So this Brahman said, see, when I came to you in the rainy season during the June, July month last year, when I came, uh, I asked for firewood because firewood had become wet, what I had in the rainy season. I asked you, you said, no, I also have firewood which are all wet. I have nothing, you said. So you sent me empty handed. But in the same lane, I went to Karna's palace. Karna also checked all the wood was wet. Do you know what he did? He had one building nearby. He broke that building and took the beam and cut it into many pieces of wood. And he put it in a bullock cart and gave me. He covered it with, you know, cover and everything, and he gave me to take. One full bullock cart he gave me. So such is the greatness of Karna. He said Karna is such a Danavir. He is known for his charity. So the Brahman said, therefore he is better than you, he said. So Duryodhana was envious. My lord, Karna has earned a better name than me. So in that sense, if you see, Karna actually has some good side also. You see that. And also you all may be aware, Karna was born to Kunti before her marriage, isn't it? And therefore she put him in a box and sent away. Later on, when Radhe got him and then raised him, so therefore he came to be called as Sutaputra and all that, correct, no? So which means he is one of the eldest of the Pandavas, correct? He is elder than even Yudhishthira Maharaj also. That means instead of Pancha Pandavas, they must have been 6 Pandavas, correct, no? They would have been 6 totally. He would have led a very glorious life. Naturally, he's born in such a family, he would have been very great also. But what happened? He was facing a tug of war. On one side, Duryodhana was calling him. He said, "You come and join me." On the other side, Krishna was calling him, "Come and join the Pandavas." Correct now. So, say for example, if somebody is drowning in the water and they are raising the hand and shouting at you, "Help, help!" How many of you here know swimming here? Anybody? How many of you know swimming? There are only very few. There's one, two, three, four. You know swimming? Little bit. You know? Okay. How many know swimming? Swimming? Yeah. There are about 10, 12 of them. Okay. Now, these swimming people may think maybe I can give my hand. Because somebody is drowning, I can help them. But you see, for you to be able to help a drowning man, you should be able to go in the water and put him on your shoulder. Huh? And because he may be very weak also, having drowned quite a bit. Huh? So you have to bring him out to the water and pump his belly and remove the water, isn't it? You have to do that. So, but if you are not strong enough, if you give your hand, what will happen? Huh? Yeah, he will pull you also inside. It's like a current, no? He will just pull you inside. You also will be pulled. So, okay, in case you don't know swimming at all, there is one way by which you can even save a drowning man, even if you don't know swimming. Anybody can guess? Yes? Yeah? Okay, throw a rope and then you pull it from the bank. Correct, no? What if he pulls the rope very strongly? He will pull you into the water. Is it not true? But you got an idea, good idea. I also felt the same. What I would do, I would tie the rope to a tree, the bank of the river, and then I'll throw the rope. Because now the tree cannot be pulled into the water. Tree is there. So then with that rope, I will pull him. How do you think, how many of you think it's a good idea? Correct, no? And now what is that tree? That tree represents a very strong group of, people who are like these devotees are practicing here. That is like the tree, like a sangha of devotees who are leading a pure life of character. So in this association, for example, if somebody is invited to come, a drowning boy can be saved from all bad habits. Correct, no? Because this sangha is very strong. It's not one or two persons. Many persons are there together, practicing together. So it's a Sangha Shakti Kali Yuga, it is said. In Kali Yuga, you get Shakti by Sangha. Sangha means coming together. Then you get that power. Just like you must have heard the story of the bundle of sticks. You heard that? If you put the sticks in a bundle, can you break it? You cannot. But one stick you take, it's easy to break. Correct, no? So, in the same manner, when a group of devotees stay and they practice, that place has a very high character, very high purity, very sincere practice, pure habits also. Huh? And then it is possible for saving a drowning person who is drowning in bad habits in this world. Otherwise, sometimes we go to save somebody and we also get drowned. Huh? Can get carried away also. In those days, one boy went to call the boys for the program. So he went to a hostel, and in the room, one boy was watching a Hindi movie. And he told this senior, he said, "Prabhuji, 5 minutes wait kijiye, aa jata hun. We both will go together." So that senior also sat. Then they both started watching movie. And half an hour they are watching. So the person who went to call him, he also got carried away by the movie because nice song was going on. He enjoyed it. He also got carried away. Huh? Then another person was sent to call this person. Huh? When he saw, he said, "Hey, Prabhu, you came to call this person. You also went away." Huh? Then he got shocked. Then both of them came after that. So this is like a drowning man. He went to save a drowning man and he also got drowned. You understand the example? Huh? So actually, in this world, it is very rare to come across people who lead a clean life, pure life. Correct, no? And life of character, life of devotion, uh, life of focus in academics. A life where you live life based on values. You don't live like cats and dogs. Correct, no? So such encouragement is very rarely available. So in the college and the hostel, how many of you feel that there is not much encouragement for such a pure life? You agree? Correct, no? Because many times you see the lifestyle doesn't favor you to lead a very clean and pure life. Many people are drinking, smoking, many are into drugs, many are into man-woman relationships, many are into watching all kinds of blue films. The whole atmosphere is polluted with various type of bad habits, correct, no? So that is the kind of drowning that I'm talking about. Huh? And anybody who comes to the first year is an innocent boy. Many of you come from villages. Huh? You come from good families. But when you go to second year, third year, people get polluted. Correct, no? People get carried away. So people are drowning. And who can save a drowning man? Sometimes people may tell you that, hey, if you go to these bhaktas, devotees, everybody will become brahmachari. They will say like that. Huh? But Arjuna, when he heard Bhagavad Gita, did he become brahmachari? Was Arjuna brahmachari or grihastha? Married man. He had wives, he had children. Even though he heard Bhagavad Gita directly from Krishna only. Huh? He heard from Krishna. Still, he didn't say, okay, I'll become a monk now. He left everything and went to become a monk. Huh? Therefore, Krishna, why did he give Gita to Arjuna? Krishna wanted to teach the world that if I give it to a monk like Radheshyamdas, tomorrow people will say Bhagavad Gita is only for monks. They will label it. Therefore, Krishna chose not even a Brahmin. He chose a Kshatriya, that was king, huh? Who has wives, who has children, who has duty to kingdom, duty to family, everything. He chose such a man. Not only that, now many of you boys may be thinking, if I go to this kind of spiritual programs and all, where is time for me? I have to study also. Huh? I have to grow in my career also. Huh? I have to achieve my ambitions. Huh? So will this not become a distraction for me? Hmm. This may become very to occupy time and everything. But in my observation, when a boy takes to Krishna consciousness, all his bad habits go far away. Huh? Like there was one boy in those days studying in one of the engineering colleges in Pune. He came from a very rich family. So his father used to send him 5,000 rupees in those days. Now that 5,000 will be like 20,000 now. So he was sending 5,000 rupees. So this boy would always tell father, send me 5 more thousand. Every month he was sending 10,000 like that. And his father told him he can live in an individual 2 BHK flat. He was living also. Only him, he was living, nobody else. He had his own flat. He had his car also. He would go in the car. Of course, colleges was here only. He would use the car to roam around the city and all. All bad habits he had, smoking, drinking. He would take the girls and go take to different hotel and feed them food, just to impress them. He would be doing all that. But one day, somehow, he came across our devotees and became Krishna conscious devotee. He started chanting regularly. Then he wrote his father, please don't send 10,000 rupees next month. Send me only 5,000. Like that he wrote. And father became surprised. Instead of sending 5,000, father came to Pune. He met me also. He said, Radheshyamji, what is this magic? My son has reduced his expenses. Then I told, better ask your son only. He asked the son. The son was telling, you see, now my smoking is stopped. Drinking is stopped. Roaming around is stopped. Now, I have given up all my bad habits now. What will I do with money now? That means he saved his money, correct now? Not only saved money, he saved his time also. Huh? Because earlier the time was going in those things, you know. See, if you have to roam around, you need time, correct now? If you have to smoke and drink, you need time. You need time also, you need money also, correct now? So one class I told one thing that hit him very hard. That boy told me. What I told was, anyone who is indulging in these bad activities, bad habits, they will have to suffer in 5 ways, I told. One thing I told him was, as soon as you want to do sinful activities, you have to pay heavy money for it. Correct, no? Like if for cigarette doesn't come free. Liquor doesn't come free. Woman, they don't come free. Everything you have to spend money. Second thing, when you take those things, you get disease for which you have to go to. Because when disease comes, you enjoy or you suffer. That's the second thing. The first installment of suffering is spending money. Spending money is suffering or not? Correct? No, you are spending money out of your pocket. Second suffering is bodily suffering, mental suffering. And the third suffering is bills for the doctor, paying doctor's bill because you have to eat medicine. Correct? No? And the fourth suffering is police becomes involved. See, in those days, there was one, this PhD college, you know that? So the PhD college, BAP college, in that area, there are 6, 7 colleges. So there were 3, 4 boys and girls. 3 boys and 3 girls, they became thick friends. So they were in an enjoying mood once they boarded a big car. Like, what type of big car? And the exam got over. So they started going for roaming. And they were going to Lonavala to enjoy. On the way, this boy would drive the car very fast, and all the girls would scream, "Hey, don't drive so fast." And police will whistle and stop. "Hey, how can you go so fast? Rash driving you're doing." And then they would pay some 1,000 rupees to police and they'd go ahead. Because they were moneyed fellows, came from rich families. They'd give 500 here, 1,000 there. They had a lot of money. So when they drove beyond Negri and all those places, you know, they went up to Lonavala, close to Lonavala, they had carried the liquor bottles. The girls and boys started drinking in the car. So the driver boy who was driving, he said, "Hey, aap log maza kar rahe hain, what about me?" So he also took and he drank. Guess what must have happened? Because he also drank. When driver drinks, what happens? He lost his control. Huh? And the whole car toppled and took a saucer. Fell. They all died. Terrible accident. It came in the paper and everything. So you can see that when one is in teenage, one doesn't even know what is one is doing. One goes mad. One thinks I can do anything I want. Maybe in movies sometimes you can see somebody jumping from a mountain coming in slow motion. Such things don't happen in real life. Sometimes car also topples in a slow motion. You've seen in movies, but does it happen in real life? Real life, they thought that we are rich kids. We can meddle with girls and we can drink liquor. We can do whatever we want. They're all finished. So this boy got to see that. He was also in that circle, but he didn't go that day. He was saved from that group. So he started coming for the classes. He became a wonderful devotee. He reduced his expenditures. So that boy was telling one interesting point to me. So his friends were asking, "Hey, if you go to Hare Krishna, you're spending so much time chanting Hare Krishna, reading Bhagavad Gita, you're doing arati, singing, dancing. So much time goes. All this time can be used for studies." His friends were telling. So he told his friends, "Whatever time I was spending in sinful activities, 3, 4 hours in the evening, that time I'm spending for God now." Correct, no? That means the bad habits time has turned into God's time now. No? It's not that I'm spending any extra time for this. Just like, for example, like you have this pencil which gets blunt, but you have to sharpen it to write it, correct, no? Is it a waste of time sharpening it? It's an investment or a waste of time? It's an investment. Similarly, the saw also, hacksaw with which you cut a tree. First day you got one tree, second day you got two trees, third day you got three trees, fourth day you got four trees. Fifth day, how many you cut? Naturally, you will say five trees, correct, no? But the woodcutter could cut only one tree on the fifth day. Can you guess why? Huh? Yeah, the hacksaw got heated up. It got heated up and it became blunt. Then Jamindar was wondering, is he lazy now? Why is he not cutting more trees? Then he saw that the hacksaw was blunt and burnt. Similarly, you will find all of you, the kind of challenges the modern students are facing nowadays. There is also academic pressure. There is assignments also. There are competitive exams. There is a fear that you may not get placement in the final year. And there are also a lot of bad habits also. Many boys are suffering from bad habits. So there's a lack of focus and lack of concentration. Too many distractions, too many diversions. All these things, when they attack you from all different directions, uh, but some boys are not able to withstand the pressure, they commit even suicide also. You're hearing that all around, everywhere like that. So in the midst of such a life, that means their heads are heated up, correct or not? Isn't it? So once a person gets too much stressed, he thinks just endure life so that all this stress will be gone. That is what they think. Of course, nobody can endure life. If you commit suicide, one becomes a ghost in the next life. One suffers. They don't know that. They are not educated in Gita. So, therefore, if you want to make your heated head cool head, then you have to take to chanting or dance in the kirtan, take prasad, stay with a group of devotees, come and take association, attend programs. How many of you feel these programs are of a different nature than what you see in the general association with your other college friends? You see, it's a much different programs, correct? Isn't it? It's very calming to mind. You get good things to learn. You also learn good habits also here. And also, boys of your age are also practicing, correct? No? Then you get encouraged seeing that because we learn from peer association. Also, there is a saying in English, birds of the same feather flock together. Have you seen the parrots they fly with? Parrots. Crows they fly with? Crows. Dogs they live with? Dogs. So if you want to lead a clean, pure life, you have to live and associate with clean and people with pure habits. Correct, no? Uh, and have you ever seen a swan going and sitting with a crow? Because swan and crow are two different type of birds. Kakajan, Hansajan. Cock, if you see crow, it sits in a dustbin. You have seen that? In a dustbin, sometimes 10, 12 crows are sitting, they're pulling out some dead rat. And they're trying to tear it and get some juice out of the body of dead rat. Nasty things. In fact, the kachara kadaba is nasty smelling also. But that smell, the crow likes very much. Huh? That's like a kakajan. Hams, if you see, Hams Pakshi lives in Manasarovar Lake. Clean water. There are even pebbles at the bottom you can see. And what does Hans take? Pure milk. If you give milk and water together, it will remove the water. Take only the milk. So, in the same manner, when Swami Prabhupada went to America, people asked him, why have you come here? Prabhupada said, I have come here to convert crow class people into swan class people. He said, the hippies are currently like which class? Crow class. Why they are called crow class? Who can say? Why the hippies were compared to crow class at that time? Yes? All bad habits. All kinds of, they have done some of the worst things you can think of. They were into drugs, they were into smoking, drinking, illicit sex, everything they were doing. Prabhupada that have come to convert crow class into swan class. So, swan class means clean lifestyle, pure habits. And those habits are good for your body also. Our program is a body, mind, soul program. All the three. It's called a holistic well-being, we call it. Body, mind, soul. But in this world now, people's bodies are diseased because of bad habits. And minds are feeling stress because of a stereotyped lifestyle and extremely challenging lifestyle. And soul, nobody knows about the soul also. They have no knowledge of the soul. So, therefore, coming back to the original point which I started with, I told you the story of the a king who made friendship with a monkey, isn't it? Which was a very wrong decision. It was a foolish monkey. He made a friendship with that. Similarly, those who make friendship with foolish friends, then they are also likely to be in trouble. One little story I will tell you. Once, four boys passed out of Gurukula. They came out. When they were walking in the forest pathway, one of the boys said, now having lived in the Gurukul, I know how to assemble the bones of any creature, he said. So they saw some bones lying in the forest. He assembled it into a tiger's body. It was a dead tiger. Assembled it. Another boy said, hey, I know how to give, skin and flesh to the skeleton. That I have learned, he said. And the fourth boy said, hey, wait a minute, don't do anything. Let me climb up the tree. He climbed up a palm tree. He climbed to the top. And he understood these guys are going in a wrong direction. And then the third boy said, I can invite the soul back into the body of the tiger. I have that power. I have learned Mata Sanjeevani mantra. Wherever the soul has gone, I can call him back into the body. He said. So when the third fellow did, immediately what happened? The tiger came to life. Immediately the tiger chased after these three fellows. They couldn't run too fast. They were all killed. Foolishly. But the intelligent boy who climbed on the treetop, he saved himself from bad association. Correct, no? Because he avoided those three guys. He understood these three guys are heading on in the wrong direction. See, Chanakya says, if you want anything great in life, you also should have great association, he says. For example, he says that in one shloka, if you go to a lion's den, maybe the lion has defeated a elephant, and from the elephant's forehead, a moti or something will be available. If you go, if you go to a lion's den, something costly will be available there. But if you go to a fox's den, where fox lives, you will only get some tail of some small animal. That's all you will get. So it depends on whom you associate with. By associating with great people, you get great things. Associating with small-minded people, you get small, puny things. And also, I am talking about the dangerous association of the monkey I told you. Now I told you the story of the four Gurukul pass out boys I told you. So these are all very deadly association. One should avoid. But even otherwise, if you avoid deadly association also, you need a good association to uplift yourself, progress in life. For example, you want to study well, you have to approach boys who are smart in studies, correct? No? Anything you want to do good. Similarly, you come from a good family. If you think you all come from a good family, you want to keep good habits, then you have to associate with good people. Like I told you, parrots fly with parrots, dog goes with dog. Similarly, if you want to be a good person, then you have to have a circle of good people. That is very important. And also, no one should think that you have no time to take out time for God, because I told you, you have saved your time which people spend in bad habits. In bad habits, you have to spoil your body, spoil your mind, spoil your time also. Your time, your energy, your money, and also you ruin your career also. Academics also gets ruined. So Chanakya says 8 things if anybody is doing, you have to keep away from that. 8 bad things, he says. Kamam, krodam, lobam cha, swadu, shringara, kautuke, ati nidra, ati seve cha, vidyarthi, hyashtam, varjayet, he says. You know what he says? Kama means there are boys who are always lusting after girls. In the college, you will find boys who are chasing after women. They become weaker and weaker and weaker in mind. You will see that. I saw one boy in my first year engineering, very smart boy. In first year, he was topping the class. But when he got connected to a girl in the second year, second, third, fourth year, he became weaker and weaker and weaker. Of course, that girl passed out and went to America. And this fellow didn't pass out even after 6 years also. She ruined his life and went away. So why they become weak-minded? Because actually women don't think of men at all. Shastras clearly say that women psychology is, they have a right brain. Right brain is actually creative, innovative, whereas we have left brain active. Left means logical mind. So man's weakness is in the eyes. So when he sees the form of a woman, he becomes mad. Whereas women are never attracted by the form of a man, but they are attracted by the pocket of a man. If a man has good money, then they think, hey, this fellow can supply me whatever I want. So women see men as ATM machines. Men see women as sex machines. So their outlooks are different like that. So this woman, she studied well. That's why we find in computer science many times top 3 rankers are girls only. We peacefully study, they mug very nicely and get good marks, and they get big career. And boys are thinking about girls. They're lusting after girls. They get bewildered, confused. You will see like that, isn't it? So this boy was a topper. Topper became so degraded. 6 years he couldn't pass his examinations. So that's the first thing he says, calm. If you find a boy like this, you have to keep away from him so that you also don't get degraded. Second, he says, krodam. Anybody becomes extremely angry for small things. Some people get too angry. They cannot restrain their anger. Sometimes they catch the collar, they slap and beat and all that. So one has to keep away from such people who lose temper. And kamam, krodam, lobam means some boys make unhealthy comparison. You know what is unhealthy comparison? Even in examination time, they won't study. They will go around asking how much you have finished, how much you have finished, how much you have finished. And in case one boy has finished everything, another boy has done only half, you'll go and tell him, hey, you finished everything, you have not done. He will discourage others also. They'll go around, very unhealthy comparison. And they always think somebody is above me, I will pull his leg. Somebody is below me, I will ridicule him. That's their mentality. So these are greedy people, he says. So give up greed, he says. And then he says, Swado means for the sake of long tongue, people go from here to Lonavala to eat in some continental hotel. So don't travel long distance for eating. Learn to control your tongue, he says. Because if you eat in a hotel, the hotel people are money making. For money's sake, they cook on food. Don't become addicted to your tongue in a hotel, he says. Then Shringara means some boys are going to beauty parlor to increase their bodily beauty. Their different hairstyles. How much time boys spend when they go to different, beauty. Nowadays there is men's beauty parlor also, you know that? Like females. There is also men's also. So that is Shringar. And Kautuke means going and standing in the corner of MG Road and watching who is going, who is coming. Don't do that, he says. Lot of time will be wasted. You understand what I'm saying, right? Or you're very innocent, you don't know? Hmm? So he's saying Kautuke. And then he's saying Atinidra, famous one. What is Atinidra? sleeping too much. Sometimes if it's a holiday, boys sleep 10, 12 hours. Huh? Just lie down, lie down, lie down, lie down. Hours and hours and hours. Time goes off. Neither study, nothing fruitful. Huh? Ati nidra. He says, and then he's saying, Ati seve means, playing cricket 10 hours, watching TV every day 6 hours, or sitting with a smartphone watching some Hindi movie for hours and hours. Ati seva means too much indulgence. Huh? So how many of you have seen that when somebody indulges too much in such activities, time runs out? You have experience of that, correct? And you wonder, my Lord, 3 days, how it went, I don't know. Huh? Think like that. So Vidyarthi Hashtam Varjayat, he says. A student should give up these 8 things if you want to be a good student, he says. And then another verse he says, um, Vidyarthi Chet Tyajet Sukham, Sukham Chet Tyajet Vidyam. He's saying. What is the meaning? If you want to be a meritorious student, cracking good marks and becoming a shining student, he says, forget about comfort, he's saying. If you are going for comfort, forget about academic scores. Both cannot go together. Without hard work, nobody does anything great in life. Any field. People put a lot. You can see singers, they even stop eating ice creams for controlling for keeping their vocal cord proper. Similarly, people go for Olympic match, they do net practice, correct or not? Isn't it? They do a lot of practice. Anything you want to achieve in life, you have to be willing to invest your time, your energy, you need a proper direction, destination, everything. So in student life, two things are very important. Good character through your basic practices of spiritual life. And at the same time, good academics. It's like a railway line. The railway line has two lines. You have your spirituality, you have your academics. And besides these two lines, people are going for a third line, which is sense gratification, we call it, which is Indriya Tarpan, Indriya Bhog. Don't go for that. Go for these two. Hmm. Ma Manasmara Yudhyacha. Krishna says, remembering me, do your duty, he says. So you are students, your duty is to study, do your studies. But remembering the Lord, how do you remember? So you chant Hare Krishna, follow the 4 regulative principles. Our students here lead a very clean life. They avoid illicit sex, fish, meat, or eggs. They avoid meat eating. They avoid all forms of intoxication. No smoking, no drinking, no drugs, and no gambling. So these 4 things are strictly followed by students staying in our campus here. So one should adopt these pure practices. Because of this, like if you don't kill animals, it's called mercy. If you don't do illicit sex, then you become clean. Prabhupada said, a boy is good, girl is good. When they come together, they become bad. Therefore, you to remain clean, they have to be away. Unnecessary illicit connection should be avoided. So then you become clean person. Then by avoiding intoxication, you follow austerity. Voluntary restraint of bad things, like don't put things into system like smoking, drinking and all that. That is austerity. And avoiding gambling, you follow truthfulness. You see? So in this way, you lead a life of character, lead a life of purity. And that is easy for you in Sangha Shakti Kali Yuga. I was telling you, like the bundle of sticks cannot be broken. But one stick, easily can be broken. Like one of you students sitting here, in hostel you want to remain a good boy, but there are good number of people around you discouraging you. Is it very easy? It's very difficult. Even boys with good character get spoiled or not, tell me. Isn't it? Yeah. They were good at one time, but they were dragged into all bad habits. Isn't it? So Lord Krishna wanted to teach the world that don't say for spiritual life you have no time. Therefore, he taught Arjuna in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Is battlefield a good place to teach something where everybody's heads are flying? There Krishna wanted to show, even in a battlefield where people's heads are flying, Arjuna took out time to hear Bhagavad Gita. Who can say you have no time? Tell me. Is anybody in such a danger now? Tell me. Is anybody's head flying now? We are not in a battlefield. Even there he took out time. What to speak of our life now? In the young age is the age in which you can gain this knowledge. Just like you have heard this saying, green bamboo can be bent. And the dry bamboo, if you bend, what will happen? It will break. Prabhupada was walking in the park in America. So he saw some old people playing checkers. You know checkers? Or like golf. Golf, they call it. Yeah, they were putting a ball in a hole, in this thing. And repeatedly they were trying to practice morning to evening. So Prabhupada said, look at these old fellows, they are 75, 80. Their hair has become white, and their body is full of wrinkles, and the body has become old, and they don't know anything about what is this world, what is God, who am I, where am I going. Ignoramus completely. And they're playing this. So every day their aim is only that hole in the ground. So Prabhupada said, maybe they'll become a hole in the, they will become a rat in the hole, because that's the target in life. Um, On the other hand, Prabhupada said, the old dog cannot learn new tricks, but the young boys and girls, they could pick up Krishna consciousness in the Western world. So Prabhupada said, because young people are open-minded. So when your mind is open, then you can understand this philosophy very well. But when your mind is closed, you are saying that, okay, let the life drag me wherever it goes, and I don't want to take control of my life in my hand. There are boys like that. Yeah. Somebody is dragging him to club. Somebody is putting a cigarette in his mouth. Somebody is putting liquor. He will accept everything. He says, what to do? My friends are pushing me. Don't blame the friends. You have to take control of your life in your hands and say yes to Krishna, no to Maya. We should be able to say that. And that kind of willpower will develop in you if you listen to Bhagavad Gita like the way Arjuna listened. Arjuna was a crying Arjuna in the beginning, but at the end of Bhagavad Gita, he became a confident Arjuna, correct? Huh? So he was not the same old weak fellow. He was weak in the beginning, but hearing Gita, he became very strong and courageous, confident eventually. So, uh, therefore, good Sangha is important. So, crow class people means people with dirty habits. Swan class people means people with pure habits. So, Prabhupada said in America, I have come here to make crow class people into swan class people. And then some devotees were discussing, what am I? Am I crow class or swan class? What do you think about all of us? Are we crow class or swan class? So one devotee said, we are trying to become swans, but we have some crow feathers also. We have to remove those black feathers. And then you will be a pure swan. So some of you may be already having good habits. But if you want to retain those good habits and remain a good person with good character, and you want a bright future, then association with devotees is very important. Staying in the company of devotees and connecting with devotees, hearing this kind of classes is very, very important. Because in this world, on our own, we cannot uplift ourselves. We need company. I heard one story once, some 20, 25 birds, they went in a forest and they were all sitting in a branch of a tree. From there, they were watching down, there was a net put up. But what attracted them was not the net, but the grains put there. A lot of grains were sprinkled there. Like you see, some people put some grains for the pigeons. You seen that? They throw. They all come in a big group. Like that, some 20, 25 birds came and sat and they started eating the grain. But after finishing the grains, they realized that their legs are all now stuck in the jal, that net. Now they couldn't escape. Yeah. And this is what happens to youths also. When they go for enjoyments, they don't know that they're going to be entangled. Correct or not? Correct, no? So their eyes are focused on protecting themselves or for enjoying. Enjoying. They are in enjoying mode. So they went to enjoy the grains, but they got caught in the net. At the time, all the birds were weeping. I think we are gone now. And the hunter is coming now. He's coming nearer. He's coming more near. I think he's going to catch us all and take us home. And every day, one pigeon he will roast and eat in the fire. So we are dead now. We are gone. So they all became stressed and depressed also. But there was one pigeon who said, see, we are not alone. If you are alone, you are caught. You can't do anything. But we are all so many of us, 20, 25 of us. Chalo, एक last बार try मारते हैं अभी. Everybody wave your wings to the fullest extent. So then they all started making effort to fly together. Guess what happened? The whole net, the 4 nails he had put, got lifted up. So it came out of the ground. So along with the net, all the birds started flying up. Hunter was shouting, yelling, he couldn't do anything. They went up very high in the sky. They went to a faraway place and they landed in one village where one rat helped them to come out. And then they all were freed. So what lesson do you learn from this story? Anybody? Yeah? Yeah? Anybody else? Permit. Yeah? He's saying power of unity. He says, okay, very good. Anybody else? Positive approach. So the bird who told them to all fly, he was not depressed. He was confident. He was taking a positive approach. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah. You know the saying, united we stand, divided we fall, isn't it? So they didn't get divided, they were united. And also, as I told you, collectively they could escape. Probably single one or two of them caught in the thing, they can't escape because you can't remove the net. But the joint effort of flying together and pulling the net was possible. Huh? Similarly, in this age, it is said, this age is called Kali Yuga, fourth age. Huh? Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. So according to the cyclic time, if you see, Satya Yuga is 100,000 years people used to live. Then Dwapara Yuga is 10,000 years. Huh? And if you see even Shivaji Maharaja's sword, you can't even lift it nowadays. It is so heavy. Huh? You can see that. I heard that Shivaji Maharaj, along with sword in the hand and kavach in his body, the whole thing was like 140, 150 pounds. Huh? He would wear this from the top, he would jump on his horse. Nowadays, if you jump on a horse will collapse, isn't it? Even horses are also very thin nowadays, isn't it? He had a big horse, he would jump from the top. Huh? I had gone to this Mysore museum. You know, they have this Krishna Devaraya and their sword and weapons. My lord, they are so heavy. Huh? These fellows took it in the hand and they fought also. Huh? As the ages reduce, the strength also reduces. Huh? You see that. Hmm. So, Dwapara Yuga was 1,000 years. Kali Yuga, how many years people live? Max 100 years, that's all. So, Kali Yuga is like a crash course. Huh? It's like a crash course age where the time is only 100 years, but the Maya is also very intense now. Correct, no? In the previous ages, you hear one Ajamila went to forest, he saw one bad sight. But here you will find day in and day out, when you walk on the road, you see so much bad sights you see. Hmm. Liquor shops are in the middle of the city. Boys, girls are freely mixing. Uh, People are, even boys are smoking, girls are smoking, everybody's smoking. So in the midst of this sinful life which is going on in the city, if you can remain pure, this will be your last life. You will go back to Godhead in this very life. But it's possible for you to live in the midst of such a terrible world, provided you have good association. Correct, no? Good association is possible. Just like these five fingers, if you combine them together, then you give a punch, then it is powerful. Imagine if one finger is trying to punch somebody. What can he punch? Collectively, you get power. Is it not true? So, but if you don't make friendship with good people, then you have to be forced to make friendship with bad people. That's what happens. Once there were four cows which were very good friends. They were very, very thick friends. And whenever the lion would come, they would, with their horn, they would drive out the lion. They would do like this, and the lion would run away. Lion was thinking, "Arey, these four guys are cows, but still I am afraid of them. Because their horns are big and they are all united also." So one day what the lion did, he went one by one to the cows. Like we say, na Khan Bardiya, we say, no? He put something in their ears bad about the other cow. So they started fighting with one another. And they went in four directions, north, east, west, south. Guess what happened after that? The lion could finish them one by one, individually, very easily. Similarly, if now what happened with the lions, what happened to the cows? When they became single, they made friendship with the lion. That was their foolishness. So earlier they were making friendship with cows because cows should make friendship with cows. But now the lion said, "That is not your friend, I am your friend." He told bad about the other three. And that's how each cow made friendship with the lion, and one by one the lion finished all of them. Uh, So, bad association, your character will be destroyed. I was coming to PSCT and Bharati Vidyapith in those days for taking classes. So there was one boy who was coming, one Purnananda, one boy. This boy was chanting 4 rounds, he was chanting Hare Krishna in the first year. And he went for first year vacation, summer vacation, he went home. When he came back, he said, I asked him, "Are you chanting?" He said, "No, I'm not chanting." He said, "Because my papa told me not to chant, so I'm not chanting." He said, because they saw him at home chanting. The father told him, so he stopped chanting. "I'm very obedient to my mother and father, I will not chant. But I will," they also told me not to go for these classes. so I will not come. But Prabhu, once in a while I'll come to temple for festival and otherwise I won't come, he said. So he stopped coming. So I also thought, what can be done? We left him. So this was in 97, I think. Yeah, 97, I think. After that, in 2005, one day I was sitting in my office. One elderly gentleman came to meet me. He was having tilak, pantimala with bead bag and everything. So he asked, "Are you Radheshyamji?" He asked. I said, "Yes." I said, "So you can keep it here." So I said, "Yes." So he came and loudly cried. He cried loudly. I asked, "Who are you?" He said, "Radheshyamji, you don't know me, but I know you," he said. I said, "But tell me, who are you?" "I'm Purnananda's father," he said. "Oh, you are the same, Purnananda's father. Where is Purnananda now?" He said. "Therefore, I have come to you, Swamiji, to meet you," he said. He is admitted here in Satyai temple is there, you know that? Opposite that, there is one drug rehabilitation center. He's admitted there, he said. "Really? What happened to him?" I said, "I saw him in his first year. I never met him." He said, "Yes, Swamiji, that was my mistake. He was chanting 4 rounds. I told him, stop chanting." I vehemently opposed because I thought he'll become serious in spiritual life. He also stopped, but after that, because he didn't take good association, he went for bad association. There is no other option in this world. If you don't go for good, you'll go for bad. So there he got into smoking, drinking, drugs, everything. Now he couldn't complete his course in PACT. He dropped out. He took a drop from the course. He got into too much drug addiction. Now the drug peddlers are coming and selling him time to time. And he spends a lot of money from home. I am unable to stop him. At last, we had to admit him in drug rehabilitation hospital here. And I have come here. So he said, "I have one small request to you. Uh, if you can come and meet him once, he will be very happy. He knows you. In those days, he has seen you." I said, "I'll definitely come," I said. But then I asked him, "But sir, you told him to stop chanting, but how are you wearing tilak? And you are having bead bag?" He said, "That's a big story, sir." He said, when he became like this, I got so frustrated. I am from Nasik, he said. So I started going to Nasik ISKCON temple. There they gave me mala. Then I started chanting. I chanted so that I can become free from the headache of my son, he said. And then he became initiated devotee after that, his father. But why am I telling you? In this way, many boys start Krishna consciousness and they give up, thinking that I will do something else now. This I don't want to do. But then later on, because of lack of good friendship, they get carried away. Carried away with the current of Maya in this world. Therefore, one should be able to say yes to Krishna and not to Maya. That is only possible in good association. Uh, so one last story I'm going to tell and conclude my talk. And then we will take these questions. You see, if uh, uh, if a calf, for example, associates with another calf, they both will drink milk, correct? No? But if a calf makes friendship with a pig, then what will happen? Calf will also get spoiled. He will eat the dirty thing what the pig is eating. And that's what happened. Once upon a time, you all know the story very well. A monkey was living on a jamun tree. Happily, he was eating jamun daily. And he made friendship with one crocodile who used to come out of the water sometimes to come to the bank of the lake. So they both were talking, chatting with each other. How do you do? How do you do? And everything. The problem is what? Crocodile is a creature of water. And monkey is a creature of tree. Land is a tree. So the crocodile once asked him, "My dear monkey, how do you feel in the tree? Are you happy?" Monkey said, "I'm not so happy. You see, my parents never let me go out. They always say, live in the tree. I just eat this jamun and I take rest, that's all. I don't go out. I can't see many places. Okay, let me hear about you. How about you? Tell me." So crocodile said, "Oh, my life is a marvelous life. You see, when I swimming in the lake, I see beautiful greenish mountains. I see the bluish sky, and I see the large lake, and I feel the vastness of the sky up to the horizon, and I see the beautiful flower gardens filled with flowers. Wherever I turn around, I see beautiful things, and I get to roam around faraway places." And then immediately monkey thought, "Alas, I'm not so fortunate. This fellow is more fortunate." So then he asked, "See, today my parents have gone out somewhere. No one is there. Can you please? So 2, 3 days they were talking like this. So fourth day the monkey said, can you take me for a joyride on your back? Huh? And crocodile said, yes, I was already thinking of inviting you. Good that you told me. Come, sit on my back, let's go. So he sat on his back. But as he went ahead in the lake, in the middle of the lake, the monkey started feeling uneasy, not comfortable, because water all around. Huh? He thought I may die if I fall into the water. And his body is so thin. He was worried that, hey, crocodile, I'm very worried now. Can you please take me back to the tree now? See, similarly, what happens if you come from a good family with good habits and everything? You are like that monkey eating jamun because jamun is sweet. Huh? You have been having sweet habits, pure habits till now. But the crocodile is a creature of the water. Similarly, if you associate with boys who are of a different nature, they are not of the same nature. When they drag you into habits, that time you will start feeling fear because you are not used to these things. You understand what I'm saying? Huh? You know that this is wrong. How many of you see that some boys, they know it is wrong, still they are dragged and they also feel uncomfortable. You have seen boys like that? And they only do because their friends are pulling them. Agree? Correct, no? Their friends drag them down, they also get dragged. And they know it is wrong. They should not do it. Like when I joined my company, Matra and Platt, which is a British company in Pune, you know, we were called for a executive hotel, Ashoka Hotel, for all the company people are coming. And they told me that if you don't come, they will lay you off from the job. It's a very risky thing. Everybody has to come. So I also went. So, like this, in different times, different companies call their people for gatherings in hotels. But when you go there and see what do they do in the hotel, many people are taking all this hot drinks, correct? No? Like rum and beer and all those things. And when the boys are coming, the senior managers, they all were telling that, come on, take care, don't be shy. And many people are saying. And there is cold drinks, there is hot drinks. So when the elder fellows take, then the new boys they're thinking should be take or not. They're a little shy, they look here and there, no one is there, everybody's taking, so you also take, correct now? Yeah. But after drinking, they were running like horses here and there. They lose their control. People, huh? Yeah. So my boss was a good man. He said that, hey, why did you come here? This is no good place for you, huh? He said, he just gave me a few apples in a carry bag and said, eat it, you take it and go. Huh? Of course, I left. I didn't have to stay longer there. But what I am saying, when people go to parties, people go to such occasions, when everybody is doing, they think if I don't do, I will not be respected. Hmm. People will think I am not courageous, correct? No? That's how they are dragged down. That's what happened to monkey. He went with the crocodile, then he was feeling fearful. Oh, I'm not comfortable in this. I want to go back. But then the crocodile said, my dear monkey, last 4 days I am with you here. My wife started developing suspicion that I am having some extramarital affair with another crocodile Ani. Like that he said. So then I told my wife, no, I don't have any other fiancé other than you. You are my wife. She didn't believe me. I told her again and again that I only have a monkey friend. She said, really? Where does that monkey live? She asked. He lives in a jamun tree, I said. She said, wow. Because he has been eating jamun, his kaleja must be very sweet. So you bring his kaleja, let us cook for our lunch. She said, then I will believe that your friend is not another crocodile Ani, but your friend is monkey. So the crocodile said, what can I do? Therefore, I am taking you home. Today we are going to cook you up. I mean, we are going to cook your heart. Today, my lord, when the monkey heard it, he trembled even more in the middle of the water. So at that time, the crocodile prayed to God, please give me some good intelligence. Sadbuddhi do. कैसे बचा सकता हूँ अपने आप को? How can I save myself? That time I got an idea. You know what he said? Hey, you don't know my kaleja, where is it? It's on the tree. I have left it in the tree. If you want, I'll go there and pick it and give you. Take me there. So the crocodile foolishly took him back. As soon as the monkey came to the bank of the lake, he jumped on the top of the tree and said, you rascal crocodile, get lost. He said, I will never make friendship with you. I was about to lose my life today. At least I was happy that you are a foolish fellow. You brought me back. Otherwise, I would have been carried by you and my kalaja would have been cooked. So you are a creature of water, I am a creature of land. You go and make friendship with other crocodiles, I'll make friendship with other monkeys, he said. In this way, that was the end of their, foolish friendship. In the same manner, you all come from good families. If you make good friendships of devotees here, your future is very bright. I can tell you. What? Right now, like Karna was in between Duryodhana versus Krishna. Huh? So sometimes we feel that our friends are doing many nasty things that gives us a kick or pleasure. Initially, it'll give you a kick, later on, give you a lot kick, another kick it will give you. The very same things. You will see that. On the other hand, if you design your future by choosing good association, then you'll be saved from all bad habits. No? So let us take some of your questions here. Why is it written Paschati Deshatarane for Goddess Saraswati and why not Sampurna Jagat Tarine? There is a reason for this. Prabhupada said he had two ambitions. One ambition is to make all Americans into Vaishnavas, first ambition. Second ambition is to take those help of those Americans and then reach the message of the Vedas to all over the world. That was his second ambition. And the reason is America is a first world country. And the whole world is looking up to America for education, for wealth, correct or not? Um, Therefore, Prabhupada went to America and wanted to show the world. Even now, Hare Krishna said, Americans are also dancing as Hare Krishnas, correct now? Therefore, he did that. And eventually, the whole world is becoming delivered more and more. That was the uh, vision of Lord Chaitanya. Prithivitaya chayadi nagaradi gram sarvatra prachara hoibamora nam. He said, in every village and town, holy name will be chanted. That's happening now. Which form of God is superior, Sagun or Nirgun? Because what is superior is difficult to achieve. Nirgun form is difficult to conceive. Is it superior form? See, like this bulb, for example, is in one place, that is Sagun. Huh? But the light that is pervading the room is Nirgun. Correct, no? Similarly, Government of India, when you say, can you draw Government of India? It is Nirgun. But behind the Government of India, there is a Prime Minister. Narendra Modi is there. He is Sagun. He is a person. That means behind Nirgun, there is always Sagun. You will see that. And Nirgun comes from Sagun. You will see that. Hmm? Therefore, Krishna says in the 14th chapter, 27th verse, Brahmanohi Pratishta Aham. He says, I am the support of the impersonal Brahman. He says that. So, wherever there is anything impersonal, you will see there'll be something personal behind it. You will see that. Say, if a stone comes flying into this room, huh? What is the first question? Imagine it comes and hits your head. What is the first question you will ask? Who threw the stone? That means the stone has kinetic energy. But behind that energy, there is an energetic person who threw that. Behind energy, there is always energetic. Yeah, like sunlight is heat energy. But behind that, there is sun. You will see that. Uh, there is actually the Lord Vishnu himself, he is the one who is supplier of the energy to the sun. Therefore, we chanted Gayatri. Like that. So, you will always see that behind energy, like now the electrical energy you see here. But where is it coming from? Coming from the poles. Where are the poles getting electricity? The previous pole, previous pole, previous pole. Then you go to the hydroelectric power station. There one man is sitting and releasing the electricity. That means he is the person behind the energy electricity. You will see. So therefore, behind how he is saying, because Nirgun is difficult to achieve, therefore it must be higher. No, even Sagun is not very easy to achieve also. Like it's not that Krishna is very cheaply available. Huh? Actually, even to attain Krishna also, he says, Bhaktyamam api janati, he says. Even in Bhakti path also, there are 9 stages. Unless one is very genuine, निष्कपट भावना से, निरपराध भावना से, निस्सहाय भावना से जो भगवान का नाम जपता है, उसको ही भगवान प्राप्त होते हैं. Actually, अगर impersonalists say Krishna is very easy to achieve, ask them to do bhakti, they can't do it. इस दुनिया में सब कुछ कर पाएंगे भक्ति छोड़कर. They cannot do bhakti like the bhaktas. Because bhakti requires freedom from false ego. You cannot, like many of the impersonalists, they think I'm a big yogi, I'm a big jnani. Oh, I'm doing big tapasya. It's like Vishwamitra and Vasishta. I heard that they used to have a tussle, correct? No? One time, what Vasishta did, he purposefully made the entrance, that entrance door, height, he reduced it. He reduced it to only 4 feet. Now Vishwamitra is, 6 feet. Now, how will he come inside? So Vasishta's idea was he has to bend. झुककर आना पड़ेगा ना? That's what was his idea. So when he called Vishwamitra into his house, what Vishwamitra did, without bending the head, he just bent his leg and came inside. You know how to come by bending the leg? bending the leg and came inside without bending the head down. Huh? He wanted to show that I'll never bend at all. Huh? They both had a big tussle. Whereas Bhakti Marga means you give up your false ego. Huh? One is humbler than a blade of grass. So it's not that Saguna is the easy thing. But Saguna and Nirguna, ultimately God, both are one aspect of one God only. Like Narendra Modi and government, they are one, correct, no? Huh? But government is impersonal, Narendra Modi is personal. Similarly, God also has two aspects. A Saguna aspect, Nirguna aspect. And those who are Nirguna Upasaks, they will go to Brahma Jyoti and they will remain there. And those who are Saguna Upasaks, they will go beyond Brahma Jyoti into the spiritual world. Huh? And then they will enter the spiritual world where they will see God face to face. So, this one, if Narada Muni was an Atma, how could everyone see him with body? So he's asking if Narada Muni's body is purely spirit soul, how they could see it. Krishna's body was also like that, is it not true? Krishna's body is Sachidananda Vigraha. So can the Atma be visible to the eyes of others? Yes. Atma can manifest itself if it is needed. God can show. When Krishna comes in this world, he doesn't get a fleshy body like what we have, made of flesh and bones. In our case, body is different, soul is different. But Krishna comes with the same body. So that same body, if he wants to make it visible to the world, he can make it visible. Although Karna saw it, Duryodhana saw it, Dushasana saw it, they could not understand him. Only Arjuna could understand it, correct now? God can make it visible if he wants. Okay.
Prabhuji,
Yeah?
can we touch that body? And how do we touch that body?
Yeah, Ravana even sent a sword.
But
So-
how?
Yeah, he couldn't cut it. Correct, no? When he sent a sword over his body, because Nainam Chindanti Shastrani, Krishna says, no? You cannot cut it with scissor. You cannot burn it with fire. You cannot hit it with water. If you drown the body in swimming pool 30 feet down, it will go down and come up. It will be normal. Nothing will happen to it. Yeah, she tied Krishna, but it is said that no, Krishna also cannot tie Krishna, but Krishna agreed to be tied out of seeing his mother's love. So her love tied Krishna. Because without love, nobody can tie him. Hmm. Even all of you also, when there is love, you become sentimental. You will bend yourself. And say, for example, you are going home for 3 days, you want to come back and study. But mother is saying, better, please stay 4 more days. And she's pushing you, you can't say no. How many of you agree? Correct? If somebody has a loving relation with you, if they push you a little bit, you cannot say no. Isn't it? I visited many temples. I observed beggars at the main gate of the temple. But no beggar is at the main door of ISKCON. Which factor makes ISKCON different from other temples? Because we supply prasad all day long. Yeah. Beggars come here also, but they morning free prasad after Bhagavatam. And afternoon, not just ordinary prasad, full prasad. Rice, dal, sabji, sweet, everything we give. Evening also 4 to 9, continuously prasad is served. So ISKCON distributes crores of plates. How to get rid of bad habits, overthinking, lack of confidence, what to do to improve communication skills, how to get out of comfort zone. My Lord, each of it is one topic for me. I have done one seminar on each of this. So I would suggest you, if you go to my channel, you just write there, say inferiority complex, you write, there's one lecture on that. Comfort zone, there's the first lecture you will see on comfort zone. You can see that. You put habits, immediately you'll get 4 5 lectures. Breaking old habits, forming new habits, all that is available, okay? And see that. Actually, if you just put Radheshyamdas, you will get. And then you put these words, what you have written here, you'll get it. I've spoken elaborately on them with many videos, PPTs and all. What you said in voice, we change our bad habits, time into good habits like devotion, etc. But suppose I am already with positive person and live in good association with my friends outside and doing our study, then why I need to shift to voice? Brilliant question. Very nice person. So he already has a good boy who is a good friend there. So this boy may be not into any smoking, drinking, drugs, any bad habit. He's a clean boy. And he has another friend who is a similar friend. And he is also very good in all these things. So what is the need of his coming here? Anybody can say? You understood his question, no? Then what is the need of joining here? Already I have good association. I am not meeting bad people. I am with good people. But huh? He is saying his self-control may not be eternal. He's saying after some time he may lose, he may resort to bad habits anytime. Like our Ajamil was born in a Brahmin family. He was doing Gayatri 3 times a day. He was bowing down to his father and mother, everything. But he was not aware of what is the goal of life. हाँ? अगर कोई सड़क में गाड़ी चला रहा है, रेड सिग्नल आएगा तो रुकेगा, ग्रीन सिग्नल आएगा तो चलाएगा, लेकिन उसको पूछो किधर जा रहे हो, उसको मालूम नहीं है, ऐसे घूमते घूमते रहे. Some people follow rules and regulations, but they don't have any destination at goal. Can you play a football without goal post? कुछ मजा आएगा उसमें? You tell a person run as much as you want. Both sides you can run. Will anybody play a football like that? Similarly, you may be a good person, you may have good character, but what is the goal of your life? Who are you? Where have you come from? Even if you're a good person, you will be born thousands of births as good person again and again. Every birth you have to get old, you have to get disease, you have to die, and most importantly, you have to join a college and give exam also. Correct, no? Yeah. How many of you want to be born 1,000 times and give exam in each janam? Anybody want to do? Yeah. But if you learn spiritual knowledge, then this is your last birth. Tyaktva deham punarjanma nayiti ameti. So now Krishna says, if you become a devotee, this is your last life. You come back to Goloka, Buloka to Goloka. Then you never come back here again. That's the main difference in taking training here and just being with a good friend. See, character is important, but character alone is not the ultimate. Besides character, you need spiritual knowledge also. Correct, no? Without spiritual knowledge, you will not know who are you, where are you going, why this world is. For example, if I ask this boy, you say you have a good association, good friend. Huh? Now, why this world is created? What is the purpose of this world existing? Huh? Where do we come from? Who are we? If you don't know answer to these questions, even your good boy, good friend, you are saying, even he can fall prey to bad habits unless you have a deep spiritual knowledge, which is given in Bhagavad Gita. Correct, no? And also, um, here's what it says. We are the Indian citizens. So if anyone asks us, what is first for us, Bhagavad Gita or Indian Constitution? He's asking. Actually, okay, you're saying that you're Indian citizen. Like I'm Radheshyamdas, I'm living in India. I'll follow Indian laws. Like if I'm going in my car in India, I will drive my car on the left side. In America, when I go, I will drive the car on the right side. Like we do in Rome as Romans do, as we say. I'll follow the laws of the state. I'll follow. But I know very well that being a part of this country is not the ultimate goal of life. Because today I'm born in India, tomorrow I may be born in another country, right or not? Atma can take birth in any part of the world. So as long as I have this body, I follow the laws of India. At the same time, I will cultivate spiritual knowledge. Because without Bhagavad Gita knowledge, simply thinking I am an Indian is not enough. Because if you think you are an Indian now, you may not be Indian in the next life. What do you say, correct? We have to cultivate knowledge of Gita. What are some of the teachings or lessons that can be learned from Lord Krishna's life? An example. Very wonderful lesson you can learn. For example, Lord Krishna teaches servant leadership. Although he is a smart, he's a supreme Lord, he is driving the chariot of Arjuna, correct, no? He's teaching the world that a leader should not be proud. He should be ready to empower his subordinates. He's empowering. And not only that, you will see Lord Krishna in the beginning of the Gita, you will read in the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna was not ready to fight, correct, no? Was he ready to fight in the beginning? Arjuna said, Nayotsya, I will not fight, he said. Then Krishna didn't say anything, completely silent. And Arjuna gave 5 reasons, the whole first chapter and the second chapter up to 6th verse. And Krishna went on listening. Go ahead, go ahead. Bolte jao, bolte jao. He heard everything. After Arjuna was exhausted, giving all the reasons why he will not fight, then he put the Gandiva bow down and he loudly cried. And he said, Krishna, I don't know, should I fight with these people or go to the forest? Should I defeat these people or be defeated by them? I'm totally confused because these people are atrocious. They deserve to be punished. but at the same time, they are my relatives. I don't know what to do. And then he said, now I surrender to you, Krishna. You are my guru. You teach me. At that time, Krishna began speaking. That means Krishna is a good listener. Correct or not? Huh? So if you listen well, then people will be willing to take good instruction. So Krishna was a very good listener. That's another lesson we learn. And he only taught Arjuna when Arjuna hired him. Arjuna said, you are my guru, teach me. Then only he taught him. He didn't run after Arjuna. He said, if you want knowledge from me, I'll give you. Then he gave knowledge. And not only that, you find Krishna is very friendly with Arjuna. When Arjuna said, mind is very difficult, Krishna, for me to control. Krishna said, right, what you said is correct. Mind is very difficult to control, but not impossible. I'll give you a way how you can manage your mind. And Krishna is also very empathetic. He's very friendly. He's appreciative of Arjuna. And also, he never gave up Arjuna till the end of the battle. He brought success to Arjuna, correct, na? He was always sitting in the chariot. Although there were a lot of challenges during those 18 days. Pandavas were 5, Kauravas were 100. And you can see Pandavas were in forest 12 years, no propaganda they could do, no canvassing. Whereas Duryodhana was ruling the whole world that time. You can see that. And in all the thick and thin, in rain and shine, Lord Krishna never gave up the Pandavas. Even when they went to forest, Kamyakavan, Vrishakavan, Lord Krishna went there also. You will see. So therefore, one mentor is worth an entire army. Arjuna got one good mentor, Krishna. Whereas Duryodhana got 10,000 Narayani Sena. Still he lost. You will see that. So, therefore, a lot of lessons you learn, and most importantly, Acharyas like Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they all say that Krishna is not just a great personality, he is God himself. He showed the Vishwarupa Darshan in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, you will see that. Vishwarupa Darshan. Outside and inside his mouth, Mother Yashoda, what he showed? The whole Brahmanda he showed. Another Vishwarupa he showed in Duryodhana's palace also, when he came as a Shanti Dut. So these are all recorded and these are all accepted by Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Ramanacharya, Ajita Devala, Vyasa, Narad, they all have accepted him. So our acceptance is based on Acharya's acceptance. According to my observation, mobile photography is not allowed in other major temples, but photography of God is allowed in all ISKCON temple. Please share your opinion. Yeah. Actually, why? Because many people want to take selfie in the temple. Sometimes you see husband and wife, they stand in front of Radha and Krishna. They think we are also like them. They stand and they take with Radha Krishna they want to. We tell them don't take like that, but you can take God's picture. You can take, and what you want to keep with you, that is all right. You say, don't imitate God, follow God. That's that we say. Can you explain the concept of moksha? Yeah. See, you all know x-axis, y-axis,
Yes.
Correct. So the material world is, the y-axis, which is negative. This is negative y-axis, 0, 0, positive y-axis. Correct, no? So right now we are in negative y-axis, where we are suffering a lot. Correct, no? And then everybody wants to get happiness. So when you get some relief in suffering, that you consider as happiness in this world. For example, if I pinch you, you are suffering. And you say, Prabhuji, don't pinch me, his body is paining. I say, I relieve you now. I will not pinch you. Am I giving you happiness? Huh? Am I giving you happiness? No. I am giving you relief. Similarly, moksha, most people understand is I want to get rid of cycle of birth and death. And go to, you take Jains, you take Buddhists, you take impersonalists. They all are talking about, either Buddhists talk about nirvana. Jains talk about going beyond the wheel of samsara. And in Hinduism, they talk about moksha, which is merging in impersonal light. And that is 0, 0. All these fellows are in 0, 0. They want to go from the material world to a place where there is Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. They want only peace. But beyond that is positive access, which is spiritual world. Like we say Vaikuntha or Goloka, where there are a lot of activities going on. Like I told you, there, you've heard in the classes, in Krishna Loka, there is Krishna's abode, there is Rama's abode, there is Vishnu's abode, where devotees are all meeting the Lord eye to eye. So, like if there is a mango tree vertically, in water it is reflected upside down, correct, no? So, material world is like an upside down tree, spiritual world is like a original tree. Real happiness, real mango is there. In the material world means upside down tree has a reflection mango, which cannot give you happiness. So that is the real moksha or mukti, we call it. Mukti hritva anyata rupam swarupena vasita. You go back to your swarupa, meet God face to face, and exchange rasa with him, just like in Ramayana you find Hanuman, Lakshman, Bharat, Sita, they're all exchanging love with Rama. Or with Krishna you find gopas, gopis, cows, calves, deers, they're exchanging love. So living with God, exchanging love is the ultimate concept of moksha. And the lesser understanding of moksha is zero zero. Hmm. For example, if husband and wife are quarreling, they are in negative axis. If husband lives in that room, wife lives in this room, that is zero zero. Peace. Both are peaceful. And both of them come together, give up their ego, and they stay together loving each other. That is positive axis. So where do you want to go? Negative axis, zero zero, or positive? Yeah. So if you want to meet God face to face and live with Him in love, that is positive access. Or if you want to get rid of birth and death, like Jains, Buddhists, other people, nirvana, go to zero zero, shanti shanti. Hmm? Is it clear? Concept of moksha? Have you ever experienced doubts on a crisis of faith in your spiritual journey? Yes, but that was long, long before, during my IIT days. When I read Prabhupada's books, I had a lot of doubts. I think the Swamiji is pushing Krishna too much. I should think like that. I want to find out some fault in Prabhupada's book and then say that, see, because I had also studied many other organization books at that time. So I had a lot of doubts. But eventually I found Prabhupada, nobody could capture him because he presents the truth so purely, perfectly, without any adulteration. So all those doubts were all cleared as I proceeded. Little by little, they got cleared at the very early years. And that is why in 91 I came to Krishna consciousness. In 94 I joined full time. 1994 February, beginning of February, I joined 3 years after practicing. I only had one lamentation in my life, that why I came to ISKCON so late. Because I came at the age of 25. I joined ashram. If I had come when I was a small boy, I would have joined ISKCON at 10 years only. I would have got another 15 more years. So, but I went to a dozen organizations before that. All over India, different sadhus I met. But here I got the full conviction. Prabhuji, can you share the worst experience in your life and how spirituality helps you in that situation? Good question. In my school days, I got one book of an impersonalist in my 8th standard, 7th or 8th standard. The title of the book was Nan Yar. Nan Yar means who am I? So in that book, that fellow says that you are not the body, you are Atma, he says. That is correct. And then he says, ultimately, you are that God. He says, you merge into that Brahman impersonal light and you become that. You become God, ultimately. And then you just remain in Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. You remain in equilibrium and that's it. And there is nothing to life. So when I read that book, I was shocked. I just threw that book away. After that, then I said, hey, instead of going and remaining in that impersonal light, idling there, and this world appears to be more better activities there. Some activity we can do here. What is that? And that impersonal light, there is nothing. Uh, So, after reading that book, I got very confused and very unhappy also. Morose, is this the ultimate goal of life? Just going and being in a bright light, that's all. No activity. Then when I read various books, then I understood. Badanti tat pavidas tattvam yajnanamadvayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaneti shabdete. 3 levels of awareness of the absolute truth. Like when you're going in a train, you see a mountain looks like a hazy cloud. When you come nearer, it looks greenish. When you come even more near, then you can see cows going up, down, and houses and all that. That means a hazy picture of absolute truth is nirgun. Huh? When you come more closer, then you see Paramatma. When you come even more closer, then you understand Bhagavan. Just like, for example, government of India, very hazy. And parliament, you go and see Narendra Modi, that is Paramatma understanding. And Bhagavan understanding means you see him in home. The same prime minister at home. Prime minister in parliament is Vaikuntha. Prime minister at home is Goloka, Krishna. And impersonal understanding, Nirakar, that is government. Like that. So I understood that nicely after that. So that was a challenge I was facing in my life. I was confused. All my confusion was gone. after I read Prabhupada's books. If someone praise other gods other than Krishna, completely following the paths of sinless, pure life, can he go to Vaikuntha without even knowing Krishna or chanting his name? Example, a Christian, Muslim, Shaivite, or Smarta, or Shakta, or Buddhist. See, Prabhupada said if a Christian is pure Christian, he will go to Jesus. And Jesus will further train him and educate him and send him to spiritual world from there. He has a planet. From there he will send. Similarly, Muslim, for example, they say 99 names of Allah are revealed in Quran. And the 100th name will be revealed when you go back to Godhead, they said. And that name is Krishna. Correct? No? That's 100th name is not known. But Ismailis know it. You see, Ismailis, they chant Krishna's names. They worship Krishna's Murti also. They are also Muslims. You will see that. Hmm. Similarly, the Bori Muslims, you may be knowing in Pune also they are there, Bori Muslims. They water Tulasi every day also, you know that? Huh? They water Tulasi. They have Tulasi. They wear this topi with a golden thing. You have seen that? If you see their homes, they have Tulsi also. So you will see in Islam also, the mature Islams come to the Sufi platform, you know that? Where they worship Rama and Krishna and all. Similarly, if somebody is a Shaivite, he becomes a pure Shaivite, Shiva will bring him to Krishna. Like I come from a Shaivite family, Om Namah Shivaya. Huh? I used to put this basma. Huh? All my, from childhood up to the age of 21, 22, I was with this. Huh? After until I met Hare Krishna devotees, read Prabhupada's book and everything. So every morning I used to go to the top and chant Om Namah Shivaya. Almost 1 hour I would do every day. In the top, more than 20 years I was doing like that. So one day I prayed to Shiva, please give me what is best for me. Then Shiva brought me to Krishna after that. Hmm. So therefore, in case you are worshipping somebody not knowing the ultimate God, if you are really purely trying to do that demigod or whoever he is, he will bring you to Krishna. There's no doubt. Because your worship is pure, they will bring you. Should we be matching sci-fi web series? Should be watching sci-fi web series that give us different perspective of thinking, or it doesn't matter. If we think in different direction, we can clear the doubts of people thinking in different directions regarding bhakti. See, sci-fi movies are all many are imaginary. Huh? They are not real. Instead, you can go to Discovery Science channel. Huh? If you go to Discovery Science channel, it's a very beautiful channel. It is. Lot of scientists have put in there. Science and spirituality is presented very nicely. If you go to Discovery Science channel, that is more fruitful, I feel, because they are talking of tangible things, not like sci-fi movie. Sci-fi movies, if you see, they are fiction movies, correct? No, fiction movies. How would you gain much from them? They are all imaginary. But you can go to Discovery Science channel, they're talking about real experiments and how it tallies with spirituality, they will explain. Mm. How you handle the students who were in sleep mode while you were giving valuable session. I feel only sympathy for them. And I see them sleeping, बेचारा बच्चा सो रात को सोया नहीं होगा. I feel like probably he must have studied yesterday late night. Like that I feel. If the Bhakti Marg is the best, why is there any need for other margas? And are other ways of salvation better than Bhakti Marg in other yugas? Like Bhakti Marg is best in Kali Yuga. No, no, no. Actually, other margas are what? See, Karma Yoga, you use the senses. You do activity and offer it to Krishna. And Jnana Yoga, use the mind to speculate. And Ashtanga Yoga, use the intelligence to focus and concentrate. And Bhakti Yoga, you engage the heart with love. So which is greatest out of this? Your hands, legs are greatest, or mind, or the intelligence, or the heart? What do you say? Because Karma Yoga is a path of action with the senses. Jnana Yoga is a path of speculation with mind. Because they do Sat Asad Vichar, correct? No? Niti Niti process. And Ashtanga Yoga is a path of focusing on with intelligence. Bhakti Yoga is you give your heart to Krishna. Or you dedicate your heart to its services to Krishna. So out of the four things, which one you consider is most important? Yeah? Which one? Heart. Why? Because if you give your heart to somebody, your buddhi, your man, your indriya, everything will run along with the heart. Do you agree? Correct, no? Yeah, everything will go. Like you all love your parents very much with your heart. So naturally you give your intelligence, mind, senses, everything to following what they say. Correct or not? Therefore, bhakti is a holistic path which encompasses all the previous three. And in Gita, Lord Krishna says, Bahunam janmanamante jnanamanvam prabhu. After many, many lifetimes, jnani will come to me, he says. And yogi also, after many, many lifetimes, he'll come to me. Whereas bhakta, he says, in this life only, he'll come back to me, he says. Yeah. Are Indians better than Americans in the path of spirituality or belief, or it's not like that? As all kinds of people live everywhere. Indians are better in one sense, I'll tell you. India is a yoga bhumi. America is a bhoga bhumi. You find that it's a land of sense gratification. And also, every country has some unique speciality. Like Gulf has got oil, America has got dollar notes, Germany has got machines. Japanese people, they've got software. I mean, the technology they have. Switzerland has got watches, correct? No? Malaysia has got sandalwood or something. Similarly, India has got spirituality. People all over the world come to India for spirituality. India can be considered a spiritual capital, you can say, of the whole world. That's how India is special in that sense. All holy rivers are here. Holy saints are born. Such deep spiritual literature and practitioners. Yeah. How to be connected always with Krishna consciousness? Because many times we are distracted and going towards bad association and lust. I would say that do these 5 things, A, B, C, D, E. A for association. Come regularly for programs like this. And also, if possible, stay with devotees here or nearby flat you can stay. If you don't want to stay inside, you can stay nearby also. Easily you can come. Association. And B for which books? College books? Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad. C for chanting. D for which diet? Doctor's diet or which diet? Prasadam diet. And E for engagement in seva. Is marriage engagement or seva engagement? Seva engagement. Isn't it? So ABCD. These things you do, and then you can go beyond all this bad propensities. For us to be connected to Krishna consciousness always, you have to be doing this. Keep away from temptations. Stay in good association. And also read proper books regularly. These things will help you. ये कौन सा कलयुग चल रहा है इस आस्किंग मीनिंग इससे पहले भी बहुत कलयुग हो चुके होंगे व्हाट इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ मल्टीवर्स सी देखिए ब्रह्मा जी का ओके आई टेल यू सी वन कलयुग हैज 4,32,000 years how much and Dwapara Yuga has like we can say it is 2 times this. Treta Yuga is 3 times this. Satya Yuga is 4 times this. So 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 is how much? 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. So 10. So if you multiply, that means 43 lakh 20,000 years is called as one Chatur Yuga. You understand? One Chatur Yuga. So now 1,000 Chatur Yugas makes one Brahma's day. 1,000 Chatur Yugas. And another 1,000 Chatur Yugas makes one Brahma's night. So after one Brahma's day, Pralaya comes. Like that. One big Pralaya comes at that time. Brahma goes to sleep. Then again, when Brahma wakes up, again. So now, like this, if you take, multiplied by 365 makes 1 year of Brahma. So Brahma has 100 years. Now 50 years of Brahma are over now. Half of the lifespan of Brahma is over now. That means rest 50 years means each 1 year has 365 days and each day of Brahma has 1,000 Chaturyugas. Is it clear to everybody now? Yeah. So how to deal? That is said by Krishna only. Sahasra yoga paryantam aharyad brahmano viduhu ratrinjuka sahasrantam teho ratra vido janaha bhutagrama sayevayam bhutva praliyate ratriagame. Like that he says, bhutva is created, destroyed, created, destroyed. This world is like scientists say Big Bang, Big Crunch, Big Bang, they say. Krishna says the same thing. Only difference is they think Big Bang, Big Crunch, but they don't know the source of Big Bang is Mahavishnu. That they don't know. Because Mahavishnu is spiritual, therefore they can't know. Okay, how to deal with foolish people? Like I told you about the monkey, keep away from them. That's the best way you can deal with them. Don't go near them. Keep away from them. How to get out of unhealthy environment? Join here, this center. This is the best way to stay in a healthy environment. Yeah. As you said, the monk went to Duryodhana, but some videos say that monk went to Yudhishthira and Karna for the chandan sticks, which is correct. Mm. Actually, the Duryodhana Karna is something which I have heard from Mahabharata. It is there. Huh? Mm. Actually, because Duryodhana and Karna were friends in one sense, but even amongst friends, sometimes there is envy. Sometimes in that connection, it was explained. I read it in one of the Mahabharata books. And difference between Maya and love in college life. Mm. They both are same only. Correct, na? Love in college life is also, especially the so-called love between boy and girl is simply eyewash. Yeah? In the college is what they call as romance, they call it. Huh? We say love at first sight, divorce at first fight. You heard, no? Isn't it? What kind of love? Huh? Hmm. Actually, if you very carefully see why a boy loves a girl, it's because of the skin. Tomorrow, if some acid falls on the face in the lab and she gets an accident, I don't know whether the boy will continue to love her. We are attracted to the external skin, the bodily beauty, externally. Some people are attracted to the mental match also, not necessarily only the body. Yeah. But mental match may happen. But when you come closer and closer, you find mentally they are not the same. They have different tastes also. Correct? Huh? Nobody can be exactly like you. But this romance, how it came in the colleges, because boys watch too many movies. That's the problem. And after watching movie, they come back and do the same thing. Yeah. Difference between Maya, okay. And then as life is short and have many things to do in Kali Yuga, how to manage and what to do. So you need to learn time management. If you go in my channel, I have put time management part one, part two. There you will learn a lot of secrets on how to utilize your time effectively. For example, there are 4 generations of time management. I'll briefly tell you. First generation means just write the to-do list in the morning. These are the 10 things I want to do. And then go on executing. 4, 5 you will finish. Other 5 push it to tomorrow. And then tomorrow push it to day after. This is the very basic style of time management. You know this post-it notes people have, no? You know that, no? That is to-do list even. Second generation time management, what you do? You take your calendar and you schedule it. Today I will do this 5. This is not very urgent. I will do it tomorrow. This I will do next week. So you schedule and chart it. That is second level, second generation time management. Third generation time management means you prioritize your activities. You take 10 things. Some of them you cancel also. I don't have to do, somebody else can do it for me. Hmm? And then you prioritize, which is most important. Huh? Like that you think about it. And then the fourth generation time management is what is the most evolved one now, prevalent now all over the world. Big managers do that. What is it? They say that, you know, many of us are off center. Somebody is money centered, because of which all the time he's making money, then wife divorces and goes away. And his health also is ruined. He gets a heart attack. That means he's money centered fellow. Huh? Somebody is spouse centered. Somebody is enemy centered, like that. These are all off centers. So then there is something called principle center. Principle centered lifestyle means you give time for body, mind, soul. So there are 4 aspects of your life: physical quotient, emotional quotient, intellectual quotient, and spiritual quotient. For example, one of you does everyday yoga, you do exercise, and or you go to gym, you keep your body fit. Then one is called as a good animal because you keep the body very well. Huh? And if you have good emotional connection with friends, you have your friends and family, you have a very good circle of people, they love you, you love them, then you are called as a good friend. Huh? And if you are intellectually smart in your subject matter, in your field, you are called as a good craftsman. And if you are every day pray to God, chant God's name, and you're connecting with God, you're called as a good saint. So combine these 4 things: good animal, good friend, good craftsman, good saint. Makes you a complete human being. This is 4th generation time management. That means you have to give time for each of this. And then you prioritize your life. Like for devotees, we say morning for Krishna, daytime for office, and evening for family. Huh? This is for the family people. They give time like that. Then you balance very nicely. For all of you, morning for Krishna, daytime for college, evening for studies. Correct, no? A lot like that. So if you see the time management, you'll get more. Huh? Hmm. He's asking, Karna has how many wives? You have to ask Karna only. Huh? I don't know. Let's check Mahabharata. Huh? Not a very important question. Okay. Is seva to people, is seva to God, as all are parts of one God. Hmm. See, it's like asking if I go to a tree and water every leaf of the tree and every branch of the tree, is it like watering the root of the tree? No. On the contrary, if I water the root of the tree, is it equivalent to watering all the parts of the tree? Yes. Yes. Where do you put the water? Where do you put the water? Yes. Other than root, do you put water anywhere else? So Krishna is the root. Yata taror निषेचनेन तृप्यन्ति तत्स्कन्द भुजोपशाखा प्राणोपहारा चैतेन्द्रियाणाम तथैव सर्वार्हणमच्युतेज्य. In the body also you have many parts. Your fingers, your hand, your elbow, your head, your leg. How will you take care of every part of the body? You put food only in one hole. Which hole? Mouth you put, correct, no? When you put food in the mouth, it goes to belly, it takes care of all the parts, correct, no? Do you put little food for the hand, little for the eyes, little for the ears, little for the... Do you put that? Do you do that? No, only one place you put. Just put the food. One devotee asked Prabhupada, Swamiji, in Basti, they give food from the backside, he said. So Prabhupada said, yes, that's true, but that is only in a diseased state, not in a healthy state. Have you seen any healthy person putting food behind? You'll never see that. You put food only in the mouth. Huh? So healthy people worship Krishna, and other people try to satisfy other demigod. That is like basti. Huh? But otherwise, in a healthy state, you only one place. Put the food in the belly, it goes to all parts of the body. Put water in the root, goes to all. Similarly, love God, love all. Repeat: love God, love all. Then you can love everybody. If you love God, you can love everybody. You can't even harm an ant also. But if you don't love God, then you will make section. You will say, we are this jati, they are that jati, then there'll be fight. We are this country, you are that country, there'll be fight. We are whites, you are blacks, there'll be fight. They will say, you are Dravidians, you are Aryans, you will have fight. We are Muslims, you are Hindus, you will fight. But if everybody understands there is one supreme God and all are God's children, then you don't fight with anybody. Hmm. In Purva Janma, Karna was the Rakshasa named Sahasra Bahu. Correct, you are right. He was Sahasra Kavach. That was his name. So don't know, but seen some videos as Ravana was good. He didn't touch Sita. In Lanka, people worship Ravana as god of knowledge. See, I was going in the train. There was one lawyer sitting in the train. He told me, Swami ji, आप बहुत देर से पढ़ रहे हैं, थोड़ा आपसे बात करना था, he said. He said, हाँ, देखिए आप लोग प्रभु रामचंद्र के गुणगान करते हैं, ठीक है, लेकिन रावण भी उतना बुरा नहीं था. वो जेंटलमैन था, जैसे मैं पूछा कैसे जेंटलमैन था वो. बोले देखिए सीता को नासिक से लेकर गया लंका तक, लेकिन सीता को बोल दिया कि जब तुम रेडी रहोगी तब तुम्हारे साथ संग करूंगा, नहीं तो नहीं. उसको शांति से अशोक वाटिका में रख दिया. कितना अच्छा जेंटलमैन है वो, ऐसे बोला उन्होंने. तो मैंने उनको बोला कि शायद आपने पढ़ा नहीं, उस दिन रामनवमी आ रहा था. उस समय मेरे पास किताब तक खोल कर एक पेज दिया पढ़ने के लिए उनको. वो आदमी पढ़ लिया. वो उसमें क्या लिखा था, एक बार रावण हिमालय के निकट गया था उधर कुबेर को मिलने के लिए. उस समय एक पुंजिकस्थली नाम का एक अप्सरा आ रही थी. ये पुंजिकस्थली जो है बहुत खूबसूरत थी, अप्सरा थी. वो कौन थी? कुबेर के बेटे नलक कुंवर जो है ना, उसकी पत्नी थी. वो आ रही थी. लेकिन रावण ने जब उसको देखा, उसके अंदर काम वासना अंकुरित हो गई. वो उसकी ओर जाने लगा. कोई नहीं थे उस एरिया में, तो उसके पास पहुंचने लगा. वो बोली, देखिए रावण, आप मेरे पिता के भाई हो. आप, इसका मतलब क्या बोलते हैं, चाचा जी बोलते हैं क्या? हाँ, चाचा बोलते हैं. देखिए आप मेरे चाचा जैसे हैं. मेरे पिता नहीं, मेरे पति के पिता के भाई आप. करेक्ट है ना? उसका मतलब मेरे सास के भाई. करेक्ट है ना? ससुर के भाई, मेरे ससुर के भाई. आप मेरे ससुर के भाई हो, इसलिए आपका संबंध क्या है मेरे साथ? पिता जैसा है. करेक्ट है ना? क्या एक पिता ऐसे बेटी को गलत आंखों नजर से देख सकता है क्या? नहीं. ऐसे उनको समझ आया. लेकिन रावण बोला ये सब भूल जाओ, कुछ लॉजिक मत बताओ, अभी हमारा लॉजिक काम नहीं करेगा। अभी हम एंजॉयिंग मूड में है अभी। तो उसको बलात्कार करने लगा, उसके कपड़े खींचने लगा। उस समय ब्रह्मा ब्रह्मा जी खड़े थे, इनके साथ नलकोर के साथ कुछ बातचीत चल रहा था। तब नलकोर दूर से देखा कि उनकी पत्नी की अपमान हो रहा है, वो तुरंत भागते हुए आया उधर। हाँ। तब रावण जब उनको अटैक कर रहा था, उस पुंजगसली को, तब नलकोर ने अपने जनेऊ को थोड़ा, तोड़कर जोर से चिल्लाते हुए शाप दिया, अरे दुष्ट रावण, ऐसे चिल्लाया। तो रावण मुड़कर देखा, छोड़ दिया पुंजगसली को, बीच में छोड़ दिया उसको। वो बोला, अरे दुष्ट रावण, तुम थोड़ा भी अकल नहीं है, तुम्हारी बेटी जैसे बराबर स्त्री के साथ तुमने संभोग करने के लिए प्रयत्न की। मैं तुमको श्राप देता हूं कि किसी भी स्त्री को तुम बलात्कार करोगे, तुम्हारे सर हजारों टुकड़े हो जाएंगे, चूर चूर हो जाएंगे। ऐसे उसने श्राप दिया। उस दिन से रावण किसी भी स्त्री को बलात्कार करने की धैर्य रखता नहीं था, बलात्कार करने की साहस नहीं रखता था वो। कि उसको उनको बिकॉज ही न्यू दैट if I force any woman, the same day my head will split. Then I told the lawyer, आपने बोला जेंटलमैन, भी जेंटलमैन है क्या ये? क्योंकि उसको डर था कि if I force Sita, then my head will burst. Therefore he didn't force Sita. Is he a gentleman? No. And some people feel in South India, because Ravana lived in South, they think he's a Dravidian. Therefore they try to defend him, saying Ravana is a good person. You know, they think it's Aryan Dravidian fight. These are all created by foreign people, correct now? So we have to tell the truth, what Ramayana says. It's a time-old tradition. You go to Japan, you go to China, you come to India, everywhere Ramayana is available. Puratan Ramayana is available. We have to speak from that only. Valmiki's Ramayana. If Krishna is avatar of Lord Vishnu, then why don't we pray to Vishnu? Who said Krishna is avatar of Lord Vishnu? That is your own understanding. Krishna is the original. Vishnu is actually... See, have you ever heard, from Vishnu many Krishnas come? Have you ever heard? हाँ? एक विष्णु से अनेक कृष्ण आते हुए कभी सुना आपने? कभी नहीं. But from one Krishna many Vishnus came in Brahma Vimohan Leela. You will see that. And also, when Krishna has two hands, when he wants chakra, he easily can get chakra, correct, no? Chakra is zipped into his body, he has. And he want to kill Shishupal, he can get the chakra and kill him. That means Vishnu's body is inside Krishna's body. Even in the Vishwarupa Darshanam, Krishna showed Vishwarupa, then he showed Vishnu form, and both forms went inside Krishna's body. What does that show? That means both Vishwarupa and Vishnu form are zipped into Krishna's body. Now we have to stop now, it's very late now. Prabhuji, if your goal is to serve the world, so don't you feel that we can do something more social thing to make their life better? So tell me what social you want me to do, tell me. See, one child was, one Tata's son, small boy, was wandering in the road. Somebody gave him food, and the child ate the food and he was crying. Somebody gave him clothes. He removed the tattered clothes and put nice clothes. So child wore good clothes, still he was crying. Then the third person saw the child is crying, gave medicine. Still the child was crying. And the fourth person saw that the child is crying repeatedly because he has lost his father. So he arranged for Tata to meet this child and take him home. So out of the four people, who did the best? How many of you agree? Fourth. Okay, how many of you say the first or second? Anybody? So the fourth person did the great, because at home you will get abundant food, abundant clothes, abundant medicine. Similarly, in ISKCON, what are we doing? We are meeting the children of God and saying, please go back home, back to Godhead. There you will get everything you want. And also we are giving prasadam in ISKCON. If you see, morning we are giving prasad, free prasad, afternoon full plate prasad we are giving. And evening also 4 to 9 we are giving. So when you come closer to God, everything is taken care. Your food is taken care. And also we have Annamrit also going on in Pune also. That's called lakhs and crores of plates are distributed, if you want to know about that. Yeah, last question. Prabhu, who is your spiritual guru? Can you share the best message given by your guru? Yeah. My spiritual master is known as Radhanath Swami Maharaj. And what Radhanath Swami Maharaj taught us, his most famous teaching is, we all should act as representative of Krishna's love for the world. हम लोग भगवान इस दुनिया के जीवों को अपना प्रेम प्रकट करना चाहते हैं, हम उस प्रेम को प्रतिनिधित्व करना चाहिए। हाँ, we have to be compassionate to everybody. हाँ, and compassionately give them Hare Krishna mantra, give them the philosophy, and deal with the people in such a way that they will be inspired to come one step closer to Krishna. So he speaks many lectures on the topic of blending passion with compassion. We not only we should, in the name of passionate and ambitious life, we should not hurt the environment. Rather, we should blend it with compassion for all the living beings. So Krishna himself is called as Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu, compassionate Lord. So his main message is be a compassionate servant of the servant of Krishna, and distribute this message of Gita to all the people of the world. That's his main message that he teaches. So he is from Chicago, and he came to India at the age of 19. And then he lived in India. He never wanted to leave. And then he lived in Vrindavan, and then he met Srila Prabhupada and everything. So he wrote a famous book called as Journey Home, where he wrote about his experiences all over the world, travel. A very adventurous book it is. At last, how he met Srila Prabhupada. Parampuj Lokanath Maharaj and Parampuj Radhanath Maharaj, they both met Prabhupada in the same Cross Maidan festival in Bombay, 1971. And they both met Prabhupada and became his disciples. And 1973, he became devotee. And then, so I met him in 1991. I met him. So since then, I have been in touch with him. Very, very noble soul, pure personality, and his patience, his simplicity, his devotion. I was very charmed. I have met many sadhus, sannyasis in my life before coming to ISKCON. So he taught me very systematically how to understand the Krishna conscious philosophy. From his both his good character as well as his deep devotion, I was influenced and I took a shelter. And then 94, I joined. I wanted to join Bombay Temple, and then he sent me to Pune. I came to Pune in 1995. Since 95, I'm in Pune only. So I can understand Marathi also very well. Kai paije. So I can talk some things. Marathi manache. That kind of words I know. Of course, if you speak in Marathi, I can understand fully. Only I'm yet to give lectures in Marathi. Maybe in future I can give. So I'm in Pune since 95, and I also go to different parts of the country. I've been going to many IITs, NITs. Now I travel to America also 3 months in a year. I go. So my goal is to reach this message, what I'm giving with all of you, to Americans also. Today evening I was giving this Be a Perfect Yogi. I am doing a course for Americans every Sunday. So how many of you like the message, what we were talking today? You like it? So this is what we want to reach all over the world. Become a Krishna devotee, chant Hare Krishna, follow the 4 regulative principles, lead clean life, and be happy and make everyone happy and go back to Godhead. That's the message. Thank you very much. Shri Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna. Yes. So I hope you all of you enjoyed the session very much. So Prabhuji very nicely spoke about